As most of you have probably noticed, I have not been uploading pretty much at all lately. And even then, it was pretty inconsistent for the past like 10 months or so. I did mention that I was definitely feeling some burnout and I was struggling finding like the passion and whatnot. And this is all sort of the writing on the wall, I suppose, leading up to what is happening now, and which many of you have probably already heard about, but just for the sake of being thorough and making more of an official video discussing it, I'm going to get into sort of what's happening and what's happening next. Just for a brief backstory, I've been making videos or streaming since I was like 12 years old. I am now 26. That is a very long time, but it's always been something I've enjoyed, even though what I've been making and how I've been making it has completely changed since then and over the years. The baseline creative outlet of making something and sharing it with the world has not changed, and that is something that I still really enjoy doing, and I don't think I'll ever not enjoy doing. However, a few years ago, I noticed I was doing pretty good, and I had this opportunity in front of me to potentially turn it into more of a job than just a hobby. And I jumped on that opportunity because that's sort of what my dream was since I was like 12. However, this didn't exactly pan out how I was hoping it would. Things got really good for a bit, and then they got kind of bad, and they got good again, and they got bad again. And a lot of that is my fault for being so inconsistent. Just as a person, I'm not great at adhering to schedules. I tend to like to binge things and then stop for a little bit, and that is just not how content creation works when you're trying to be successful at it. You need to be very consistent, and that's something I really struggled with. Unfortunately, for the past year or so, I have had to pull out of savings every single month just about. I've been making less than I've been spending, and it became very apparent to me, honestly close to a year ago at this point, that this was not sustainable, and I started making a plan for the future in case things didn't get better. This is where we are now. Things didn't get better. They actually got worse, both with my desire and burnout, my desire to do things and my burnout getting all-time bad, and financially all-time bad for the past year or two. It definitely became time to take the next step in my life and move on to something else. So for the time being, I'm putting a lot of my focus into other things. That does not mean I'll be gone forever. This is something I still see myself enjoying in the future, and I completely believe I'll be back at some point. This is not as a job. I'll do it as a hobby, which honestly would probably make it even better for all of you and for me, because there were definitely a lot of times where I was, making a video or turning on my stream because I felt like I was supposed to. I felt like I was obligated to instead of wanting to, and that definitely impacted the quality of what came out of me, and seeing that quality decrease burned me out even more because it felt like I was betraying myself in some way or doing myself dirty, because that's something I never thought I would end up being forced to do, and creating things that I didn't love and putting it out there. But as I was saying, I do expect at some point to come back and do this as a hobby, but this may be a little bit because I really need to get my life to be a little more stable, so I can stop pulling out of savings because there's only so many of those. So for those that are interested, what I'm doing now is, first off, I have retired from BDG. I don't intend to continue rating at a high level anytime in the foreseeable future. I just don't see the time investment as being worth it to me right now. I actually have barely played World of Warcraft at all in the past 3 weeks, or maybe even longer than that. It's been a little over a month now. I pretty much only logged on for sale runs, and I've even stopped doing that at this point. I did not realize just how burnt out I was. I hadn't taken a real break from WoW in 10 years because it became a job to me, and then I kind of kept pushing and pushing until this breaking point happened, and then I stopped. And as soon as I stopped, I was like, wow, I feel so much better now that I don't need to log on for raid today. I don't need to log on my 6th LA Shaman to go do my weekly keys on it, etc., etc. Anyways, what's next? I am working on a boot camp for programming. I'm starting with Java. I got about halfway to an associate's degree in computer science, learning Java, so I was thinking that'd be a good place to start. Bootcamp just to speed it up a little bit. Might go back for the degree later. Working a part-time job in real life in the meantime to make ends meet. Because, for a little reference, I streamed 250 something hours during progression, and full transparency, I made about $500. That is about $2 an hour, not including taxes. So any part-time job, even minimum wage, would be a lot better, even if I only worked 20 hours a week. Then I'd have a lot more time to do other things as well. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now, just kind of getting my life back on a track that I feel has a sustainable future for myself. And then I'll worry more about returning to things I enjoy, like hobbies and whatnot, which would be like streaming and stuff. I might still stream a couple times here in the meantime, just if I find myself playing a game with a friend and I want to share it. Very likely it'll happen here and there. Not sure about videos. Might make one. Have one in mind that I wanted to make. Don't know if I'll find the time for it. Again, no promises, not a job anymore. When I upload, I upload. When I don't, I don't. It's up to me. No more financial incentive. I am definitely downplaying a little bit how hard this is for me, because this was kind of a dream I was chasing for so long, and I felt like I got so close. But I had to be real with myself. I have to respect myself enough to know when enough is enough and move on to something that I know will provide me with a future that I can enjoy more. But I do want to say a thank you to all of you that supported me for all of these years. Even the ones, obviously the ones that supported me in the more recent times too. Anyone who's been around, I do appreciate everything you've done. Watching, commenting, subscribing, all those things. It meant the world to me. And I understand if some of you are going to unsub now. Like I said, I will come back at some point. If you want to wait, that'd be great. If you don't, I understand. Thanks again for everything. Hopefully I'll catch you guys again soon. Sorry this took so long to make. I had a lot of reflecting and thinking to do first. Anyways, I don't know how to end this. Bye.